Good evening, everybody. My name is Mariar Patel. I would be moderating this session on the digital DNA, the backbone of for scale. So before we start off, we'll go for a round of introduction.
Hi, am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah. So my name is Vaibhav Baveja. I take care of the e-commerce business for Bestseller. We have 6 brands in India: Jack and Jones, Veromoda Only, Selected, and we have recently launched Veromoda Girls and Jack and Jones Juniors. We have significant presence in all the major marketplaces, and we have our own websites, and soon we are going to launch our apps. And glad to be a part of the panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mohit Malik. I head technology for Chayos. So I take care of the data, hardware, software, and product teams out there. Bit about Chayos. We are a 200 plus cafe chain spread across tier 1 cities, majorly the metros. And we are present both in the offline space as well as online on the various channel partners. And I've been in business for last 11 years. And the major USP of our product is Meri Wali Chai, which is, a chai customized in 80,000 different ways. And we also run a couple of other brands as well. One of them is a North Indian food brand called Ghee and Turmeric, which is a cloud kitchen and delivery first brand. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, this is Amit Arora. I belong to a company called Shree. We are a woman apparel brand. We have 150 stores, India and globally. And we deal in daily wear ethnic, and I'm CIO here.
Hi everyone, this is Ketan here. I am from Modenik Lifestyle. We are a house of brands in the essential wear innerwear category. We have 3 brands, namely one Enama, which is a women's lingerie brand. The other one is Dixie Scott, which is a men's innerwear brand, and we have a license with Levi's for the men's bodywear part of business. And glad to be a part of this panel. Look forward to the discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we come back on the topic, digital DNA, the backbone for scale. I think we have equal representations in business leaders and retail CIOs, tech retail CIOs on this panel. The dilemma are 2 sides. One, we say that we need market identification, market entry strategy, customer acquisition, hyper-targeted marketing, talking about predictive analytics, demand forecasting as a business demand. The other side for a tech leader is to look at how to provide these business enablements so that the business can perform better. A strong merchandising platform, a very strong omni-channel platform that could work on any scenario. Predictive analytics, especially linked to data analysis. And all this connected, and especially the Gen AI strategy and automation that everybody is talking about, closely linked with the CRM. So I think these are the 2 dilemmas for all of us to ponder and see that how we can make the best of it. So I'll first go to the business leaders, to Ketan and Vaibhav. You're talking about any customer, any channel, any time, this sounds resounding. And you being leaders in retail industry, what's your driving force to collaboration as a tool, especially as a tech-based transformation and data-based analytics, which is playing the most crucial role? We'll start with Ketan and then to Vaibhav.
Sure. I'll bring this to life using an live example that we've gotten into quite recently. We, on the Anamus side, which is a women's lingerie brand, cater primarily to a TG, which is say 25 plus. And these days, the buzzword being Gen Z, we were trying to solve the problem of how do you go after that sub 25, which is far more well-informed, a lot more digitally influenced, a lot more social media, a proactive kind of a audience. That's where we looked at both collaboration and tech. We partnered with one of the leading e-commerce platforms in India to look at data analytics-based insights coming out saying, what do these type of customers browse? What do they like? What do they not like? What are their search criteria, etc., and try to build certain data insights coming up from there. We also leveraged our offline presence, and then we sell into multi-brand outlets, we sell into our own exclusive outlets, we sell into other online marketplaces understanding from on-ground staff as well, if a consumer of this TG comes in, what do they ask, what do they look for, and incorporate those learnings into coming up with a range of products. And the range is called Enamer so it's quite a vibrant, young audience targeted range. So their data plus the whole collaboration, not just with internal teams or with, say, a market research agency, but going out there and looking for possibilities to partner with external people, partner with our own people on the ground, and getting that kind of information to build a new range altogether.
Yeah, so Ketan, probably I think that's an ask which you have delivered. But what comes into the business retailer's mind is that cost of profitability, and which is very, very important for all of us. Though we implement new technologies, and the cost of profitability in terms of deploying technology is very, very important. So what are your takes on that?
I think, given retail as a business is has a very different kind of unit economics playing out, where profitability comes in single digits, low single digits to be precise. And the question is very apt on profitability being a very important criteria. And I think in the previous session, a couple of people spoke about how tech was looked at as from a expense lens and now more from an investment lens. I think where tech and profitability sort of merge or combine is when they give results which can be used for scale, results that can be used for generating profit as well. And in this example, which I just quoted again, was not just to look at what kind of designs, what kind of a style, what kind of a color, etc., but also what kind of price points, right? What kind of combination of products which can drive higher basket values and hence give you a higher throughput, be it, the product may be kept in the stores, it could be sold online, and hence playing a better role in improving your unit economics and hence impacting profitability.
So going forward with Vaibhav, I think you handle the e-commerce for bestseller, and I think one of the most fashion-forward brand. So what's your point on this particular topic? Is driving collaboration as a tool and a tech-based transformation with data analytics. I think how it has helped you as your business.
So I think, am I audible? So I think first, from our fashion retail e-commerce perspective, there could be 4 or 5 broad areas where, we would want to introduce tech, or before that, we would want to improve our productivities. Like the first areas could be, for a business leader, could be, how do we maximize our gross margins? How do we maximize our profitabilities? The other areas could be a better speed to market, or a better discoverability, which will in turn give me a better profit. I think the other areas we look at, of course, is after the sales, the consumer experience, and how the CRM works. So I think before entering into any of these buckets, how we at Bestseller, we would want to, the approach here is that the hypothesis on entering into any digitization has to be very clear, right? I can give you a very sort of funny anecdote. Like, if you talk about Omnichannel, it's a buzzword, right? I mean, back in the day when we were starting it, so the hypothesis on paper was it will solve for speed, right? And it will solve for inventory sort of optimization. Now, 6 to 9 months after the launch, we figured that the order to delivery timeline from our warehouse is better than from the stores. So the stores are taking 1 day more. So that means the hypothesis in itself is not correct. So the point I'm trying to make is what we have learned and what we are now sort of approaching in any digitization is the hypothesis and the business need and the problem statement needs to be very well defined before entering into the solution of tech, right? So that's one. And secondly, I think in the previous forum also, the point was discussed was, rather than obsessing over the channels, I think it's extremely important to obsess over the consumer. The consumer decides the channel and not otherwise. And so that's the other backbone of going into any tech transformation from our perspective. And I think touching across other sort of buckets which I mentioned in the like small things like discoverability. Now there could be fashion trends in the market. Even if you have the right product, even if you have the best product, let's say oversized t-shirts is a trend today, right? But in our brand books, it could be called Boxy. It's just a small example. Now, if you don't have the tech which is scraping the SEO data, which tells you that, no, it's not Boxy, amongst consumers, it's oversized. If you don't have the data, you won't be discoverable, even if you have the product. So that's how we have been sort of approaching it and trying to make sure that the productivity and profitability is maximized.
So Weber, probably something in my mind as a previous retailer is that e-commerce growth in an overall scenario has been a single-digit growth for years to come.
Yeah.
So has tech helped you scale up that? Because see, today the touch points have become like e-commerce is a big thing. You might have your own site, you might have a reseller, you might have the XYZ sites which are available on browsers, on various platforms. So is tech really helping you scale up? Just a small part where you can answer that.
See, I think the first thing which is coming to my mind is, one of the levers of growth, of course, if you go back to the basics, is your brand inducing more number of trials? Now, from a trials perspective, if I move backwards, I think before, obsessing on buying traffic, even if .com or Myntra or all the other marketplaces, a tool which has helped us or the approach which has helped us is the CDP approach. I mean, if you are using it effectively, you can leverage your existing set of consumers whom you have given an experience rather than buying traffic and traffic. So that's one example where we have leveraged our sort of existing set of consumers via a tool or a technology, which has helped us maybe give a growth which is slightly higher than market.
Super. So we'll go to our next set of questions, and we have tech leaders on this platform. You're talking about uniform platforms, driving efficiencies and deliveries. What is omnipresent at present? I mean, what is your roadmap in terms of organizations to deliver this tech-based innovations, and particular to mobile-enabled experience? When we talk about mobile-enabled experience, you're talking about mobile as action, you're talking about mobile as data, and mobile-based insights. And one of the articles which I'm clearly reading from a very big corporate house into retail, they're saying the next age is of mobile. And that's going to be one single point of contact for all of us in future, which is going to work in a big way. So I'll go to Amit straight away, because he is looking at business as well as tech, and he's working very closely, and he's also been a co-founder of a company which is now scaled up tremendously. So Amit, what are your views on this particular point?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I believe when we say Omni, it's not a buzzword, right? People are there at majority of the channels, right? But I think being there at majority of the channels or all the channels is not Omni. That's what I believe. You have to be seamlessly integrated with all the channels. So unified experience is something when you are available at the channels and those are integrated towards. So for example, if a person is coming at Instagram and have seen something, and then it goes to the e-com shop, and then added the product to the wish list. After that, he goes to the store after some days, but store manager don't have access to that wish list. He cannot upsell. So that experience is not seamless for the customer and for the brand, both. Right? So that integration is very important. So that is why we say that we are not omnichannel, we are multi-channel. But yes, we are moving towards giving the unified and omni experience to our customers, which is a priority for us. So we use a lot of data analytics, and definitely, as you mentioned, mobile. We don't have mobile app as of now, which we are developing. It's on the way, but we are on progressive web apps, PWA, wherein we're giving app-like experience on the mobile browsers. And so 90% of the traffic is again on mobile app for the website, right? So again, that is why it is in. And so we have a chatbot, and we are also, done the POC, and we are about to implement, make it live, the style bot, right? Which is AI based, wherein it will ask the customer various questions on, what is your kind of physique, your skin color, or a lot of questions. Based on that, the bot will suggest the outfits and the styles he can wear. Maybe if someone is little fat, bot can suggest you can wear this to look slim, not direct, but yes, in a way that it should not be, partial. So we have taken that very seriously. So because the experience is the key here, right? So the answer should be very human-like. We are trying to implement that. So it should not, offend the customer. So that is what under implementation. The POC is done. We have done everything now. We'll make it live, and so that is another thing which we are doing for mobile and for the unified experience. So apart from that, we have endless aisle experience, wherein which is simple, wherein if the customer is not able to find anything at one store, so the store manager can give the experience to purchase that particular product from other stores. So it can be delivered to the customer's doorstep in a day, or if it is metros, it can be delivered in few hours also, right? So hyperlocal has been implemented, wherein the customer should have the similar experience. If the store does not have that inventory, but he should have the access of, not 2,000 pieces but 2 lakh pieces, wherein all the stores are seamlessly integrated with warehouse as well. So these are the few initiatives, but yes, we are moving towards more initiatives which can give the stores or the customer experience, wherein they can stay connected to the store. So if someone is coming in, if we'll say the customer name, "Hi Amit, welcome to our store," or a store manager will be able to recognize the customer. So it is, GDPR compliance is there, wherein we cannot save the faces, but yes, we're trying to implement something which will be compliant also, wherein the face mesh or face IDs will be saved, and if someone is entering the store, and geo-tagging and the video analytics will give us some data on what that customer has bought in the past and what he may like. So predictive analysis will be there, but that is not yet implemented. But yes, we are definitely moving towards the experience to the customer, wherein the personalized way of touch base is very important. That is very near, I can see, right?
So Amit, you're saying technology linked to a CX experience is very, very critical nowadays, and I think that's what you're delivering. Just a sideline question on this main question is that, is there ways that you measure the success of technology implemented within your organization? Is it measured with any tool, or is it a general measurement on a budget and spend?
See, ROI is definitely important, right? But there are many things wherein, see, there are scientific ways to measure the ROI, how much is the spend, what kind of extra sales will be generated. So if it is, we are measuring the footfalls, for example, we have installed the video analytics, we are measuring the footfalls, what ROI it can generate. But it is giving you an analytics which can help you maybe, generate more sales by, so simple language में ना store manager बोल देता है, सर आज तो footfall ही नहीं था. So, इसका resolution है ये simple. I'm not talking about details, but yes, there are a lot of things which you can definitely measure. So we manage the footfalls. If now we are able to talk to the store manager in terms of conversions, कि भाई 15% नहीं, मेरे को 25% चाहिए. So how you can measure that? So operational productivity is definitely there, but yes, you are right. ROI is very important while implementing technology, but there are a lot of other things which is giving my customer a better experience. So उस experience का ROI तो मेरे को लगता है क्या होगा?
Yeah, all ROIs are not measured.
उससे बड़ा ROI.
So that's why I did not use the word ROI. I said a value-driven approach from
exactly. This is the value. So for customer, if we are doing anything, that's
well answered. Thank you. So we'll move to Mohit. Mohit, I think Chayos as a brand is, I think, in back of our mind everywhere, and it's very sacrosanct to tea. Uh, as an organization which is a startup, your tech initiatives would be different than probably how a traditional brick and mortar store would be looking at. And the industry segment of the retailer that you are in is a very specific niche segment. So what is your roadmap in organization when you want to build up from grounds up? I suppose you're there from day one in the organization, so love to hear from you.
So yeah, thanks for asking. So for us, we invested in technology since the day one, and we've built the entire systems in-house, be it a point of sale system or the supply chain modules or anything and everything, and even automation of the tea brewing process has been done in-house. We have built everything in-house. So the way we look at that investment and the way technology helps us is that had we been on that track of the traditional brick and mortar businesses, we would have actually, taken probably a couple of years less to be able to reach where we are today. But with technology intervention, one of the things that we believed in was that, in a services business like ours, there's only one fundamental thing that you need to do which is take care of your customer, right? And give them that warmth, that delightful experience that they want. And if my team at backend is busy in doing the day-to-day mundane work of making sure that the product is made right, or the bill is being punched correctly, or things have been done, then we have lost the battle, because then the focus would completely be on the operations side, but not on the customer delight side. So fundamentally, what we've done is we've tried to automate the backend part and given the team the onus to create that warmth and delight. So if we started with taking phone numbers of the customer on a customer screen. And back then in 2015, people said that why would somebody give their phone number to get a cup of chai, right? And today, 3 years later or 2 years later, we built such an ecosystem where the first thing that the customer would do is walk into the cafe and tap on the screen, ki mujhe number dalna hai. So that was a transformation, and 90% of our, of the customers in the offline setup, we know them. They are OTP verified phone numbers that we have. And those phone numbers are only to give that personalized experience to the customer. So our business is personalization. The main USP is Meri Wali Chai, which is 80,000 different customizations of chai. Now, personalization of chai is something that we have done, but how do we personalize the entire experience at scale for individual customer is where the technology intervention is. So I'll give you a very simple example. You walk into a cafe and you're a new customer, right? Me telling you about that 80,000 different varieties of chai is probably not the right way of telling you about the brand. But me telling you that, these are the 5 top products or the 5 top chai combinations that you should try, just creates that, one, or basically reduces that complexity and makes it very dumb-proof for the customer. It's more of a yes-no kind of an option as opposed to making choices, right? Then you further drill it down and say, if I have repeat customers, high-frequency customers, what do I do differently for them? So for a high-repeat customer, the customer would come in and we know their transaction history, we know their online and offline experience as well, and we would just show them, do you want Mohit's chai? And that Mohit's chai is right there written, and nobody has saved that chai. It is just that we know that this is your chai. Now, all you need to do is just click on that. And if you are a regular customer, you would even have wallet and everything enabled with you. And the only thing is, I'll go to a counter, I'll click a button, and I'm done. So from a new customer experience to an active high-frequency customer, the entire experience is personalized. And it's something which is, which is very core to us.
Yeah, so more the sideline question on the same point is you're saying that feedbacks to implementation of those make sense when you convert feedbacks into reality of implementations, right? So you as a CTO, you are also responsible for product delivery. I'm sure about that.
Yes.
And when you talk about your technology architecture roadmap, you're saying you're designing your own internal customized way of working, and probably that is also a good way to look at it. So if you have to deploy a product internally in your organization, it is not just a tech piece, right? It's more of the other pieces coming aligned to the whole working, say analysts, a data engineer, and then who works on the e-commerce for that, who reaches out to the customer. So how do you deliver this whole cycle? Just a small thought on that.
So we work on pod structures. It's very simple, you know, a pod would be just solving a problem. So let's say warmth is a pod. I need to create warmth for the customer. So there would be an operations guy, there would be a training guy, there would be a data person, and a marketing individual, couple of engineers, one a hardware, one a software. We'll come together and we'll try to figure out what that warmth is. And that's how we'll work. And so agility is the key over here. You know, in an organization where you have 200 cafes, 2,000 staff, and it's always train, deploy, as in, you know, you need to train them and then you need to deploy them.
Super.
Then again, that's a cycle, which is a very vicious cycle. You know, you do not know what you're breaking at each point. So we have a structure of pods. We have buddy cafes associated to those pods. So we say, these are 5 cafes that I will adopt and I will solve warmth over here. I will solve it like that it has, it delivers on the outcome that I want to drive, which is measurable. And then once that is there, then it just goes into that cycle of test and deploy, as in train and deploy, train and deploy. So pod structures have really helped us. And to your surprise, you know, there are in parallel around 8 to 10 pods that are running in the organization, which are strategic pods. And then there are BAU pods as well. And we have been able to do that because of the kind of agility that, you know.
So I'm sure there's a Gen AI strategy within your organization for your own data,
Yes.
I presume.
Yeah.
Right.
Recently, what we have started.
Great. Having said that, I think we go back to our business leaders, both Ketan and Vaibhav, when they work so hard in business to really relate to our customers, get the revenue in, they have surely an ask from their tech team, especially the CIOs in your own organizations. And that could be top in mind. Like, as head of your businesses, you would like tech to deliver 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably more. So, Ketan and then Vaibhav, probably you'd like to hear on that particular part is what is your ask from the tech team and how can they deliver that? Because speed to light is something which is very, very important, right? You can't wait. You say, I want it yesterday. So over to you.
So two things coming to my mind, right? And how it would happen, I would leave it to the CIO and, you know, his team to problem solve it, and then if required, come to us as well. One thing is a unified view of the consumer. And we get data from multiple places, you know, be it our own D2C, be it the marketplaces, be it the retail POS systems from our own stores, be it even multi-brand outlet data that flows in, right? Using all of this, how do you really create that one unified consumer view? Out of that, develop different consumer personas and cohorts for that hyper-personalization or targeted marketing.
Super.
And we've seen that play out very well on the leading e-commerce platforms. So how do you get that kind of a capability built in for yourselves so that you reach out to the consumer on a literally a one-on-one basis? That's one. Second one is more on the omnichannel front, and we are not yet there from an omnichannel journey. We're just starting off. There, how do you really make that seamless, right? Buy anywhere and return anywhere kind of a proposition. You buy online, you return in a store, you buy in the store, you return online. Those kind of simple to hear, but lot more complex to operationalize on the floor. That's the second part. Beyond that, in a complex category like ours, where, for example, women's lingerie, which is a lot more intimate purchase, where sizing is a big problem, many consumers do not know, and there's a high return, etc. happening. You know, not just buy anywhere, but also try anywhere. Get the whole digital, virtual, avatar-based trialing. You can't really, unlike an outerwear or a footwear where you can't really put up your image and then try on because it's an intimate category. How do you bring a tech solution to still solve that and, you know, help the consumers make a better choice? I think these three are the top ones that we are going
Weber, I'll just twist the question a little bit more. So probably you are expecting a big sale and you're heavily reliant on your CIO and the tech backbone, which is already in place. और एन मौके पे वो चलना काम बंद हो जाता है. So probably think on a situation which probably could happen, not happen also, is also some more thoughts I would ask you, other than the one I asked.
Okay. So I think, can you hear me? Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think first, from a very broad perspective, uh, like before coming to your question, I think 5 to 6 years back, we used to ask our tech teams and CIOs that I want a structured data, don't give me unstructured data. Please solve for me. Then a few years later, we said that, okay, I need insights and not structured data. Then now we say that give me actionable insights and not structure, and not only insights. So that's how the journey has been from a demand perspective. And secondly, I think a lot of our solutions which we ask our CIOs are, please give us predictive rather than reactive solutions. And also, I think one thing which Mohit and both of you would have faced a lot is like, because the sales guy has no freaking idea about the more strategic pods. They'll have no idea about sprints. They'll have no idea. They just want that, please yaar, next week tak kar doge kya, because bahut bada sale aane wala hai. So that's, of course, that's something which a sales guy will always have in mind. But yeah, to your question, I think there have been a lot of situations where, you know, you're trying to sort of serve a consumer at a peak of its demand, and things won't work. There are certain learnings for sure that we don't bring massive changes in our stacks before peaks. That's what we have learned. But yeah, I think apart from that, of course, all hands on the deck approach is the only thing which can take us out from that kind of a situation. Be it our own tech teams and our ecosystem partners, all of them come together and rescue us out. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think Ketan and Vaibhav really delivered the point. An ask is quite general, and I mean, quite an ask, which is really required for you to run the business, right? Without that, cannot happen. So I'll go to my CIO friends, both Amit and Mohit. I think future is tech. I mean, without tech, for all our industry segments, future is obviously going to be tech. And when you talk about omnichannel, e-commerce alone, or brick mortar, and probably all the scenarios put together, and especially a strong supply chain, which is very critical for a retailer to operate on. What are the things that you foresee ahead? What's going to happen? So probably the future part of how we are going to see technology in retail.
So I think so AI is definitely be usable for everyone, right? It's been used by many companies a decade ago also, but now it is accessible to majority of the people and smaller organizations also, as a lot of tech partners are coming up with solutions which can be used. So there is a lot of data, right? So if the data being managed well, I think the customer experience, which is the hyper-personalization experience, as you mentioned also, is the key for in future for, you know, because the better the experience you can give, more conversions will happen and more loyalty will also happen, which is also very important. See, sales are important at one angle, but if the customers are loyal to your brand, which that is also very important. AR, VR, people are talking, definitely it will help, but I'm not very sure on how it can, you know, relate to the e-commerce industry. Definitely virtual try-ons are there, but kitna use hoga pata nahi, right? So voice commerce is also doing pretty
So are
well.
you saying there is more hype than reality?
Sorry. It is there. It is definitely there, but
So some of the technologies like the VR stuff and the GPRS probably has worked on some scenarios and some have not.
exactly.
So that's what you're mentioning.
And also it depends on brand to brand. And see, you should not implement tech just for the sake of implementing something which is going around, right? You need to understand the business needs and do what is required. And one more thing, there are a lot of low code, no code platforms are there, which can be easily try on, and you can, simply implement things which are required to be implemented in जिसको एक साल लगता था आज वो एक महीने में हो जाता है, right? So there are a lot of quick platforms are there.
Right.
So I think one place where probably e-commerce will go is when it makes decision making for the customer very easier. So I'll just give you an example. You open any app where you want to buy, let's say, a T-shirt. The first thing that you will do is you'll select a category. Now, if you have to buy a T-shirt and I have to buy a T-shirt, at the end of selecting the category, it will first show I'm showing you 57,000 different T-shirts in this list. That's the first part. And as a consumer, if you look at the data as well, almost 80-85% of people would buy it for themselves. Now, if I'm buying for myself, the first filter itself is on the size, on the area, on what kind of preference I have, whether I have a brand preference or I'm a very, I would say, I don't have any brand preference, whether I look out for colorful. So all those filtrations can be done, and you can basically give out to the customer saying that, these are your top 100 products or 50 products that you should look at and then explore further if you want to. Now, there, basically, one of the things that is missing out there is creating that customer persona. And that customer persona today is majorly around, I'll not do a persona for that particular customer, but I'll probably create 5-6 different personas and try to force fit the customer in. And that's how the entire systems work. So personalization and making it dump-proof for the customer to show them relevant products, that's where the entire focus should be. I'll give you a very simple example at our cafes. If at my counter, my executive is suggesting customer to buy a product, and if, let's say, I'm standing at the back of the counter and I just give another push to the customer saying that, sir, you should buy this, it's really good. The decision making is done then and there itself. Customer will not even think thrice or twice, and he'll just say, let me order that. So that kind of the systems where customer gets that validation, and it's self-learning, wherein, whatever you have suggested is actually working or not, and the systems are very agile enough to be able to build on top of that is something that I think will be a game changer. Just changing the perception of not showing everything, but showing relevant to the customer.
Absolutely. Yes. So I think as a topic, I'll just summarize, and then we can take some questions. Digital DNA for us as retailers is going to be the must. Both as an ask from the business leaders as well as the tech CIOs are going to deliver that consistently over a period of time. Technology will keep on scaling up. New technologies will be made available, whether it be proprietary or open source. It's for the retailers to challenge those technologies and see how these are implemented within your organizations very successfully. So we'll take some questions if there are any questions.
We were very clear in delivering whatever.
Yeah, I think there are no questions.
Both things can be imagined, but I would say the audience is really smart to understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you.